with 0 fatalities, 0 delays, and 0 emissions.
So in the test facility we have in Delft, we are testing every component that Hyperloop needs to operate. We do that at full scale. And the latest we've come up with is the Hyperloop switch. So based on our hybrid magnetic levitation and propulsion, we can actually create connections to tubes that are a bit like a highway, so in which vehicles go on, they join the main line, and then they can go off at any point. This is the beginning of the European Hyperloop network that stretches more than 10,000 kilometers across national borders.
Into this test facility, we have built the 3 core systems of the Hyperloop, namely the levitation, which is the component that allows the vehicle to lift off of the ground, creating 0 friction with the track and remain at a stable distance from it. In addition to that, the vehicle is now able to propel back and forth, which is what we call the propulsion.
So once the vehicle is moving, we use lateral tracks to actually keep it in place. And when we need the vehicle to go from one track to the other, we pull them towards one track. This way we can decide where do we want the vehicle to go. All of these components were tested in our facility at Delft, in which we have a near vacuum environment. Everything is controlled, and we test everything simulating real vehicle weight and size.
What is great about the realization of this facility, that it's not just the work of a single startup, but it's really an ecosystem that has been working together on this. So all of the different subsystems that are being tested in this facility are already co-developed and supplied by partners right now.
Steel is a vital component of sustainable future mobility. Drawing on Tata Steel's high-tech innovation skills and materials expertise, we support the development of Hyperloop.
2 years ago, we started our relationship with HART. And in the meantime, we have created a working system.
And especially during the whole process of getting this Hyperloop test facility to a finalized project, there were continuously more and more partners adding to help and to make it a reality. I feel extremely grateful about that. Especially the team has done such a tremendous effort to get it finished on time and make everything work. So it's truly amazing.
Sascha, this is so cool. And we were in the tube earlier today, and there Sascha showed me the switch. Wow, this tube is really amazing. Sascha, where is the switch, where it's all about?
So what it's all about is this part. This is the track that we use to levitate. And if we go down further, so the vehicle will move underneath and underneath. And then at this point, the track splits in 2. So here we can choose to either go to the left side or to the right side.
And then after a while, this one gets this size.
Exactly. So this one will continue, for example, to the left, to Paris, and the right track would go, I don't know, to Berlin or Antwerp or any other city.
But this is so simple. I mean, it looks really simple.
Yes, well, that's the beauty of it. There's no moving components, no mechanical components. It's extremely, elegant.
Beautiful. Are you proud if you look at this?
Of course. Well, yes, for an engineer like me, I get proud when it works and it operates all as planned and designed before, as we did beforehand.
Great. Technology is one thing, but what we really need is a European network, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Please welcome. She is the Euro Commissioner of Transport, Violetta Bulc. She is the Dutch Minister of Infrastructure and Water Management, Cora van Nieuwenhuizen. And she is the lead standardization of HART Hyperloop, Alicia Kurganova.
Hi.
Alicia. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello, welcome all of you. Cora, you have such a busy schedule, but you decided to be here today. Why?
Well, I like to get out of the office once in a while, and the weather is nice. Seriously, I think what you feel here, it's all about mobility, it's about innovation. And that is, of course, in the heart of my Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management. And what I like here is the passionate young people. You can feel the vibe, the passion they have. You can see that if you only listen a few minutes to them, you can see that heart is also in their heart.
Exactly.
And that is, I think, very good. And what I also like very much is that they work very hard with DT, but also with a D.
Well, who works harder, a minister or the employees of HART? What do you think?
Well, I think it's about the same. They say 24/7, so we share that. Also in weekends, that's about the same.
Violetta, you've been European Commissioner of Transport for 4 years now. What do you think of the Hyperloop technology?
Well, it certainly has a huge potential. I love the atmosphere, I love the enthusiasm. It's fantastic to see that university, researchers, industry are joining forces.
Yes.
It has a potential of disruptive technology, which of course we are always looking for. And when I was listening very carefully the argumentation why all the stakeholders are joining forces, it's almost like reading the strategy for 2050 put out by the European Commission, where of course we have and that is great news. Yeah, it's a Vision Zero on first pollution and emissions, second on congestions, and third one on road fatalities and serious injuries. So these are three clear goals in transport, but overall Commission also put the Vision Zero by 2050 as a commitment for the entire EU, using sustainable development and circular economy as the foundation of a new economic and social model. So we, on the vision side, we're together.
Okay,
so that's a good
done.
But let me just also say that I would like to very much welcome also the way how we are engaging the regulators with the emergence of new technologies now. We learned with drones and flying cars that we no longer can regulate the technology. So we are actually, for the first time, we entered into the new concept, so politicians can innovate as well. With a new concept of preparing standards and regulatory frameworks where we look at the risks and the way that the emerging new, especially disruptive technologies are used. So it's, of course, a good news that we are approaching to Hyperloop with the same kind of philosophy. So I do believe we will be walking the path in parallel, trying to identify all the possible elements that need to be taken on board for the safety or security reasons.
Like what kind of elements are there?
Safety, security,
yes.
And of course commercial outcomes. Yeah? And so what all the presenters communicated is, of course, melody for my heart, but now we need hard truths. So what I can promise at this point is that we will continue to walk the path together. The Commission is acting as a coordinator already today. Between the stakeholders and member states and also administrative bodies, especially on the Commission, on the EU level. So let's see what's going to emerge out of it, but certainly a very exciting technology that could potentially lead the way in the future.
And how important is it to work together with all these different European countries?
Well, that's the only way. I mean, the way how the investments on EU level and the planning of the infrastructure is managed is that we have so-called TEN-T network, which are the corridors that connect all member states. And of course, we're going to be looking very closely to development of this technology, because now we have plans to complete all the corridors by 2030, all major corridors, and then by 2050 to complete all the comprehensive networks. So if really the Hyperloop can offer something as we see it in theory now on the table, then this could reshape the way how we see the future development of the corridor networks, and also the next or beyond, because we already are